Hello everyone and welcome back to another Monster Hunter Freedom Unite video, and today we will be talking about Trenya. For a Monster Hunter Freedom Unite veteran, Trenya won't be anything new, but to anyone who hasn't played Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, Trenya is a cat you can send to different locations for poke points in return for materials. And some of these materials are exclusively from Trenya. Trenya costs 500 poke points to unlock, and after that, she will have a number of locations at the beginning you can send her. A quick disclaimer for the video, all this information was provided by the Monster Hunter Freedom Unite wiki, so if any of it is wrong, I apologize. On the screen in the background, I will be putting up the different locations with the items that you can get from Trenya. I will discuss the more notable items and the rare items. Getting farther into the game will allow you to send Trenya to new locations as well as the same locations for increasing amounts of poke points. Starting off in the snowy mountains, there isn't too many items that you should be concerned about getting through Trenya. You can get lightning sacks, Waverian stones, and large Waverian stones for 1500 poke points, as well as rare scarabs and Emperor Locust for 1500 points. You can also get Hercudrome and King Scarabs for 1000 points. Moving on to the jungle location, some of the notable items I'm seeing, funny enough, I would say Waverian droppings and dung. Those are pretty useful early on. And moving to the higher levels in 1000 points, you can get hard monster bones, inferno sacks, large lobster shell, small lobster shells. Those are pretty useful for some weapons and armor as well as decorations. And in 1500 points, you can get phantom butterflies as well as huge lobster shells. And if anything pops out to you, feel free to pause the video, and sorry if I'm going a little quick on this. Moving on to the desert, I talked about this in a previous video on unusual items you can obtain. You can get Sinister Cloth in the desert for 300 points, 500 points, and 1000 points. You can also get the Lost Umbrella for 1000 points. And other items that I'm seeing, small lobster shells for 500 points. 1000 points you can get large lobster shells. You can also find a Master Skull in the desert, surprisingly enough. And beyond that, there are a few jewels you can get. You can also get a Waverian stone and huge lobster shells. Moving on to the swamp location, as a few of the same items as the desert, you can find the Sinister Cloth and Lost Umbrellas. More notable items, you can find Nova Crystal, Pure Crystal for 1500 points, and you can also find Power Extract in the lower levels. After the swamp, we have the forests and hills. You can find the barrel lid for 200 points, which I don't even know if I covered that in my video talking about rare items you can find. You can also find Sinister Cloth, more notable items. Lost Umbrella is also found in this location, Master Skull, as well as True Armor Spheres and Phantom Butterflies in the highest 1500 point tier. The next location is the Volcano. In the lower tiers, the most notable items I'm seeing would be Dragon Toadstools are pretty useful. You can also find Rainbow Ore and Firestones. Those are nice for making weapons and armor. You can get Sinister Cloth in this location as well as Ramabra materials. In the higher tiers, you can find Fire Cell Stone, Heavy Armor Spheres, True Armor Spheres, Eltalite Ore, Melange Ore, large Waverian stones, as well as G-rank Ramabra skins. And moving on to the last location, some of the more notable items in the lower tiers are Waverian droppings and dung. You can find Dragonwood and Dragon Moss, but you can find those in most locations. I probably haven't said that already. You can also get dragon moss and dragonwood from Yama once you encounter him. More notable items in the higher tiers, you can find a master skull. You can also find Shalakaka treasure, Shalakaka inheritance, as well as rare scarabs, large Waverian stones, and thunderbug jelly. I don't know if this is true or not, but in the items that are exclusive to Trenya, it says, give Trenya a total of 10,000 points and you will receive a Waverian harp. Other notable things about Trenya, sometimes when they are sent out, their boat will sink, which will have a chance to give you less items. And you'll know just by looking at Trenya if they haven't brought you that many items, because they'll be face down in the dirt. But if they do have a ton of items, you'll see in their boat, it'll be filled with riches. Another thing to note about Trenya, they will not return if you go on a Paw Pass quest. So you'll have to do an actual hunting quest or a slaying quest for them to return. I'm pretty sure they'll come back on a normal gathering quest, but I'm not 100%. If you made it this far in the video, I just wanted to give you my thanks. I hope this information was useful to you, and I hope to see you all in the gathering hall. Peace out.